Wright. And next week, I do want to hear all about your special day, whatever that may be. If it's special to you, tell me all about it. Email me, michael.ball@bbc.co.uk. And next week, it's going to be an extra special show because, can you believe it? It's almost a year since we lost our good friend, Steve Wright. Yeah, unbelievable. Where's it gone? If Steve Wright's love songs played a part in your life, maybe you were mentioned on it when you got married or welcomed a child into your family, or you just loved listening to Steve like we all did, then I want to hear from you. We're going to remember Steve and the joy that he brought to all of us. Email me, michael.ball@bbc.co.uk.
So, this coming Wednesday, I can't quite believe this, but it marks 1 year since we lost my mate and your friend, Steve Wright. I can't believe it's a year already. Really, really miss him here at Radio 2. I want to pay tribute to him. And Steve was actually on my 80s a number of years ago, and he had some incredible music choices. His all-time favourite was the song I'm about to play, but I'm not going to introduce it. As a tribute to Steve, I'm going to let him do it.
My fourth choice, Gary, is Whitney Houston's Saving All My Love for You. 2 years before this was a hit, I was in New York. Bit of a name drop, I'm afraid. Visiting friends. Suddenly I got a call from a record executive called Don Iena at Arista Records. He said, why don't you come up and listen to this demo of a new singer we're thinking of signing? I know this sounds like I'm making it up, but I'm not. We're asking DJs from all over the world what they think. Well, we all listened, and I said, well, I think she's brilliant. Now, remember, I was just one opinion out of hundreds. But a few months later, she had this, her first global hit.
Dawn in Harrogate says, oh, Gary, every time I hear Steve's voice, it makes me cry. He was a legend. He is a legend. Matt says, can't believe it'll be a year next Wednesday that Steve was taken from us so suddenly. He's much missed on BBC Radio 2, and what a unique DJ he was. You're so right, Matt. I can't believe it's a year, and I know that we all miss him terribly. And, yeah, he was unique. There will never, ever be anyone quite like him, and miss him loads. If you want to remember Steve, there are a number of tribute programmes which are available for you to listen anytime you like on BBC Sounds.
I'll learn to press the buttons correctly one day. Yeah, welcome to Love Songs with Michael Ball. And as I said before, today is a very special show. And it's special for two reasons. Not only is it the one before Valentine's Day, always very important, so you can expect me to be even more gushingly soppy than ever. This is what I do. But on Wednesday, it'll be exactly 1 year since we lost our friend Steve Wright, the original captain of the Love Songs ship. So, what I thought I'd do was play as many of his favourite love songs as I can. The songs that, you know, whenever you hear them, will always remind us of waking up to Steve Wright love songs on a Sunday morning for all those years. We know it's not my show, it's our show. So I'm going to be chatting to you on the Love Line for your special day and, of course, for love letters. It's going to be lovely to remember it. It really is. But in other news, how fantastic has Piano Room Month been? Coldplay started it on Vernon's show on Monday. They did a cover, which, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure it was going to work. But bloomin' Henry, it did work. Jules, Maren Morris and Scissors. And this is Love Songs with Michael Ball here on BBC Radio 2. And of course, it's our Valentine's Day special. And we're also remembering Steve Wright, 1 year on from his passing. So this week's Your Special Day, well, it's a little bit different. I'm going to let Linda Fruin explain on the Love Line right now. Linda, how are you and where are you?
Hello, Michael.
Hiya, lovely.
I'm in Bletchley, Milton Keynes, and I'm fine, thank you very much.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. Now, we asked our listeners to send in their memories of the amazing Steve Wright, and I've got to tell you, yours just blew us away. Your memory associated with him and with this show, Love Songs, it's so emotional. It's heartbreaking, but beautiful.
It is.
So,
It
first
is.
of all, tell me about your late husband, Bob, who it concerns. You had a good life together?
Oh, yes, we did. Bob and I met back in 1968 when I moved to Bletchley with my parents, and Bob was the bachelor living next door. We married in August 1970, and on a Sunday morning, we'd have love songs on whilst I was preparing the Sunday lunch.
Right.
And we would now and again have a little smooch together and cuddle up.
Do you know, I have that image in my head when I do the show of people just taking a moment to connect and show each other how much they love each other.
It was just such a special time.
Yeah.
And Bob would be peeling the potatoes and I'd be doing the other vegetables. But we'd always find time just to have a little smooch around.
Nice. Really lovely. Now, I know, sadly, Bob passed away in 2018, didn't he?
He did, yes.
Did that mean that you couldn't bear to listen to love songs?
Oh, goodness, no, I couldn't. I just couldn't bear to listen to Steve, not for several weeks, because all the romantic love songs, they were just too painful and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So I didn't listen to the radio for several weeks, but it was 9 days after Bob's funeral that I dared to put Steve on. And it was just before 10 o'clock. And the very next song that he introduced was If I Only Had Time. It's John Rolls.
Yeah.
And when I first met Bob in 68, that had been his favourite song. And it was apt in a way because in part of the song it says about, since I met you, I've thought life really is too short. So it was very appropriate for us.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe that it was the first thing on the radio.
How did that make you feel? You dare to switch it on. Who knows why you chose that very moment? And at that very moment, Steve is playing your song.
It was just incredible. I just couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was overwhelmed. And yet it was just so beautiful to hear it again because it had been played at the beginning of Bob's service. So in the moment that Steve was playing it, it's just like he knew that I needed comforting.
Yeah.
And for the next few minutes, Bob was there in the kitchen dancing with me again.
Linda, that's just beautiful. And did that help you?
Oh, gosh, Michael, it just felt like the biggest hug.
Yeah.
And a sign to me that all would be well and that I would find the strength to carry on, which I have done. And I'll always be grateful to Steve because, yes, it just gave me a different perspective. I'd been so down and depressed, but I just thought, no, I don't think loved ones ever truly leave us and that they'll always be there for us no matter what. In the darkest depths of grief, it was such comfort.
I'm not trying to be all spooky and spiritual. I genuinely think that happened for a reason and gave you the strength to carry on.
Oh, most definitely. I just felt it was the biggest sign.
Yeah.
And I knew after that I would be okay.
Linda, what can I say? Thank you so much for sharing your remarkable story. We remember two great men. We remember Steve and we remember your Bob. And I hope it's okay. I want to play that song. It was released in 1968, as you say, the year that you met Bob. It's John Rolls and If I Only Had Time. And take a moment and think of your Bob and maybe have a little move around the kitchen. Because
I definitely will.
He's there with you, lovely.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time, I'm sure.
Privileged to talk to you, my darling.
Thank you very much, Michael.
God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you so much for sharing that incredible story with us, and sharing your love for Bob. And as you wrote in your email, you felt as though Steve knew that you needed comforting, and for the next few minutes, Bob was there dancing with me again. What a powerful image that is. And yeah, we still miss Steve so much. Vernon Kay is presenting a 2-hour special in which a lot of us who knew Steve and worked with him, admired him and loved him, pay tribute to him. And if you go onto BBC Sounds, search Steve Wright, you'll find that to listen to. And with Steve Wright, who, of course, we're remembering today, ahead of the anniversary of his passing this Wednesday. And I asked you to share your memories of listening to Steve. So many of you got in touch. This came in from Diane Lloyd. She says, "Hi, Michael. What can I say? I still miss listening to Steve in the afternoons and, of course, on a Sunday morning. There really was no one like him. He made each and every person feel as if he was their friend, just chatting away to them, to us. I hope he realised how much he was part of our lives and, of course, how much he was loved on the radio. I think he did. I really do. He knew the impact he had." This is from Andrew Barker. "How lucky we all were to have had Steve Wright in our lives for all those decades. Back in 2018, my lovely wife, Gaynor Barker, sent in a request for my 50th birthday, and we were delighted that Steve read this for us. Steve really was the best, and we miss him so much." All these messages coming in. This is from Rosemary Williams in Northamptonshire. "It's no exaggeration to say I felt bereft at the sad news. Steve was an integral part of so many of our lives. He brought such endless and unique fun to his afternoon show. And of course, I never missed an episode of Sunday Love Songs, complete with all his usual silliness. I still think of him as if I'd lost a family member or a close friend. That's how he made you feel about him. Of course you, Michael, have admirably filled his shoes on Sundays in your very own unique way." Thank you so much for that, Rosemary. Yeah, I'm doing my best, but there was only one Steve Wright, wasn't there? And can't believe it's been a year. Anyway, I promised I'd play as many of his favourite love songs as I can. So here's another one. It's one of my favourites as well. It's Bread and Guitar Man. This show's special. And also I'm dedicating the show to our friend Steve Wright, the original Love Songs captain. On Wednesday, the 12th of February, it'll be a year since he left us. So I thought I'd play all of those songs that we'll always associate him with, the ones that he loved and that he loved playing over and over again.
Right, it's time to dive into the BBC archive. We do it every weekday. We've got the opportunity to dive into everything that has been collected, everything that is placed in order. It's been filed, it's been digitised now, it's on a hard drive somewhere, Belfast, and we sift through it. And today's a very special day for us here at BBC Radio 2.
Stand by for switching. Get tuned to Radio 2.
2LO calling.
It is direct television.
This is London.
BBC Radio 2. Billed as the greatest show on earth.
One thing's never going to change.
They think it's all over. Radio 2, go.
We're going to mark exactly 1 year since we lost our dear friend Steve Wright. Every time I think of Steve Wright and the time we spent together, it just puts a smile on my face. And I've said it before, that when you got a phone call from Steve, you kind of sat down with a brew because you knew you were chatting for a long time. Steve definitely wouldn't want us to be sad. So we thought the way that we'd mark his anniversary is through the BBC archive. And what we usually do in the vault is dig out as old as possible a clip as we can find on our subject. And this is a cracker from Silly Boi himself. It's a great clip of Steve's first ever Radio 1 show from back in 1980. And here's the man himself setting it up.
I remember following Tommy Vance on Radio 1. I had a Saturday night programme, and I thought, sitting behind me, in the studio behind me, is Tommy Vance. He's a legend, and here I am, a bit of a muppet, and I was absolutely terrified. And he finished with his lovely deep voice, his TV on the radio, And I came on with my very high voice. Hello, welcome to my first show.
It's 7:30, and now for the very first time on Radio 1, here's Steve Wright.
Thank you very much. Tom, are you okay?
Lovely.
What are you up to now?
I'm going to see Manhattan with Woody Allen in it.
Okay, have a nice weekend.
And you.
Ta-da.
Ciao.
Saturday, Steve Wright. Special Radio 1.
So good. That is so good. Those jingles were superb, weren't they? Radio 1! Oh. I'm going to play this in honour of Steve because we were on a trip in Sweden. We were there, Steve and his team, myself and the T4 gang, to interview the Rolling Stones. And we had